Ferran Torres to Barcelona is confirmed. Welcome, my fellow culés, to the Undefeated channel. In today's video, we're covering all the details surrounding Ferran Torres' transfer to the Camp Nou, including how much it's going to cost Barcelona, when Torres will be available to play, and how Barcelona might line up once Torres is available. Rashad Rahman, Fabrizio Romano, 433, the list goes on. Everyone is confirming the deal for Ferran Torres from Manchester City to Barcelona. According to all reports, Barcelona and Manchester City have agreed on a price tag of 55 million euros plus 10 million euros in add-ons for the 21-year-old Spanish forward. Although Ferran Torres just recently joined Manchester City, the Blues are set to more than double their original investment. In 2020, Ferran transferred to Manchester City from Valencia for 23 million euros. After starting his career with Valencia's youth academy, Ferran climbed through the ranks and ultimately played 71 matches for the first team before catching the eye of Pep Guardiola. Due to a lengthy injury spell and a competitive lineup, Ferran has only appeared 28 times in his first 18 months in Manchester, but has managed to find the back of the net 9 times in those 28 appearances. Ferran Torres is joining the Blaugrana at a critical time for Barcelona. Barcelona have been knocked out of the Champions League and continue to struggle for results in the Liga. Some of that does come down to the fact that Barcelona have been dealing with injuries all season long and have been relying on Barca B call-ups Abde, Akamach, and most recently Hukla to fill in on the attack. Barcelona supporters will be happy to hear that Ferran Torres could arrive as early as Thursday to complete his medical. After passing his medical, Barcelona will fast-track his signature on a contract so they can have him ready as soon as possible. With the Ferran Torres to Barcelona deal confirmed, one of the questions on many minds is going to be when exactly will Ferran Torres be available for Barcelona? Well, that's the bad news for culés. The transfer window doesn't technically open in Spain until Monday, January 3rd, which means Torres won't be available for Barcelona's next match against Mallorca and will have to wait until the Copa del Rey match on January 5th or the La Liga match against Granada on January 8th to make his debut. The good news is that Torres has potentially 2 matches to settle in before we go up against Real Madrid in the semifinal of the Supercopa, taking place on January 12th. With the addition of Ferran Torres, Xavi does have several options in terms of how he wants to line up his squad going forward. Let's go over some likely and maybe 1 or 2 unlikely formations and lineups that Xavi might go with once Ferran is available. Now keep in mind, at the time of this video, Ansu, Pedri, Memphis, Goatwait, Roberto, and Dest are all injured. We're going to explore how Xavi would line up if everybody was available to him. If you've been tuning in for the live matches, you know Xavi is not shy about shifting up his formation, but just for the sake of arguments, let's start out with a traditional Barcelona 4-3-3. Starting with Torres, option number 1 puts him in his preferred position of right wing. I can't imagine any lineup not including Ansu Fati. The same could be said for Pedri, Araujo, Piqué, Jordi Alba, and Ter Stegen. That almost completes the back line, but there is some doubts around Serginho Dest. There's a lot of speculation around whether or not he's going to be included in Xavi's plans. Alternatively, Xavi could go with his former teammate and trusted veteran Dani Alves. As much as I love Dani, my hope is that Dani is going to serve as a mentor to Dest and assure that Xavi keeps Dest in his plans, and so we're going with Dest for this one. Looking towards the midfield, with the early emergence of Gavi and Nico, the midfield does start to get a bit crowded, and there is a question about who will play alongside Pedri. You gotta think De Jong, Busquets, Gavi would be the favorites ahead of Nico, but there's only 2 spots left next to Pedri. Out of those 3, one of them is going to be joining the bench next to Nico. We could sit here and debate that, but that is another video for another time, or maybe we'll talk about it on Wake Up in Barca, but that is not going to be the point of this video. We're going to focus on where Ferran Torres might line up, which means let's just go with a midfield 3 of Pedri, Busquets, and De Jong, and we'll focus on the attack for now. One likely scenario would be that Memphis completes the front 3 and plays with his back to goal as a target man, allowing Ansu and Torres to run in behind. Keeping with the same front 3, option 2, Ansu and Memphis could swap positions, putting Memphis on the wing and Ansu in the number 9 position. Ansu does have some familiarity in the role, having lined up at striker several times for Barcelona before his injury. The only issue with this lineup is that it does obviously leave out Dembele. Now, his contract is up in the air right now, so he may or may not be part of the future plans, but for the time being, he is still at Barcelona, and come January, we're going to need to think about fitting him in somewhere as well, which leads to a third option that does include Dembele. We could see Torres playing at striker. Until Barcelona sign a true number 9, that responsibility could fall to Torres, which would mean that we would see Ansu on the left and Dembele on the right side of the attack. This option gives us the most pace up top and would be a nightmare for defenders on the counterattack. I really like how this lineup looks, and there is real potential that this is what we'll see from Xavi. With that said, this option once again leaves out a big name. This time it's Memphis. So is there a lineup that can fit in Torres, Ansu, Dembele, and Memphis? For this to work, we'll need to change to a 3-4-3 formation, which Xavi has used several times already. Unfortunately, Dest would be most likely to find a spot on the bench in favor of another center back, probably Eric. We'll also have to swap out either Jordi Alba or one of the midfielders for Memphis. It could go a lot of ways, but let's have some fun and make this as attack-minded as possible. Again, Ansu and Memphis could change places at left wing and striker, but we'll go with this for now. That means we'd have Ansu, Memphis, and Torres playing in front of Pedri, Busquets, De Jong, and Dembele in the midfield. Busquets and De Jong shouldn't have any problem collectively covering the midfield, which would give Pedri and Dembele all kinds of freedom to create scoring opportunities. Admittedly, out of those 4 options, that last one probably is the least likely, but it is fun just to kind of take a look at the kind of firepower Barcelona is going to have once Ferran Torres actually joins. And we didn't even discuss Abde. We didn't even discuss Hukla in these lineups. So Barcelona, all of a sudden, with the addition of Ferran Torres, looking very dangerous. But hey, that's just what I think. I'd be very curious to hear what you all think. So let me know down in the comments what you would change, what I got wrong. Let me know your thoughts. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. This is your invitation to join the Undefeated community. We are here live for every Barcelona match. I give the commentary, the play-by-play, so you don't miss any of the action. And then we've got the chat going with Kool-Aids from around the world, aka the Stash Squad, all coming together to support the Blaugrana. We also have our live morning news show called Wake Up in Barca every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on the Undefeated channel. We wake up, we have some coffee, and again, we get the chat going with Kool-Aids from around the world, and we catch up on all the news and headlines coming out of the Camp Nou. So one more time, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, let me know your thoughts on the Ferran Torres to Barcelona deal and where he may line up, and be sure to tune back in. That's going to be it for now, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking a ride. I'll see y'all next time. Mwah.